Well, I managed to score some of these. We've got an excavator bucket tooth. I've got a couple of them here somewhere. Not sure exactly 100% where they all are, but I know I've got more than this one. I've got that one there, and I've got one of these teeth here. I believe these might be off a ditch wigger type setup. I've seen these things on like rock eaters. They're a giant belt, and they have hundreds and hundreds of these bastards on there. But then again, I've also seen these on like the bottom of feet too. A bit hard to describe, but anyway. So I scored some of them for nothing, pretty much. I have tried to find out what the hell this material is. Oh god, my back is killing me. Ugh. I've tried to find out. We might put the microphone a bit closer because of the traffic. Lovely, isn't it? I've had a look online at what these are made out of. Some say they're just made out of high carbon steel. I made a phone call to a mate of mine who actually owns an excavator. In fact, he owns 3 of them. And he said that these are made out of tungsten. I've looked at manufacturing sites. I have looked on eBay. I've looked on Amazon. They don't really say what the hell all this stuff is actually made out of. So, interesting. I'd like to determine what these are made out of because I want to use them. So depending on what they are made out of is depending on what use I can use for them. The first test I think I will do is I will heat them up in my forge and I will belt the shit out of them with a hammer. And if they bend, if they flex, if they are mouldable, then they are some kind of high carbon steel. And if they just shatter into a million pieces, then the chances are they're like a tungsten carbide. So let's have a go, shall we? What have we got to lose? Here we go. What's the worst that could happen? Here, hang on, just hold my beer and watch this. After a very large pain in the arse of going and dragging the gas bottle back inside and finding a spanner and something to use to light it with and some bloody pliers to grab this thing in and out, it's in there. Actually, it only took like 45 minutes to an hour of work to get to that stage. But anyway, let's just pretend it was done in a blink of an eye. Anyway, we've got it in there, and yep, she is glowing, nice and hot. The only thing with this is I can't freaking hold it. My God, this little bloody magic mushroom, it's a pain in the ass. Look, no matter what I freaking do, there's nowhere to grab the bastard. Even I grab it somewhere decent. Look, twang! Holy crap, this thing's hard. It's absolutely ridiculous. The bloody thing's flying all over the workshop, just fucking setting fire to everything. It was an absolute friggin' nightmare, I tell you. But I did work out that it is it's not tungsten carbide. These things are so bloody hard. Absolutely smashing on them, and they're barely moving, but they are steel. They are able to be used. So that's if you could ever get a hold of the friggin' thing and keep a hold of it. Ugh, what an absolute bloody nightmare. They're just chasing it all over the friggin' joint. I think the best solution probably just grind the bastard down because I can't get hold of it. Well, I can get hold of it, but I can't keep a hold of it. It just keeps going walkabouts on me all the time. So we'll just stick it in the vise and we'll give it a bloody going over with an angle grinder. That'll be a hell of a lot quicker than chasing this thing around the workshop for bloody hours at a time, that's for sure. I want to put a bit more of a point on it, so I'll chuck it in the lathe. I could put it on a belt sander or something like that instead, but lathe is a bit more quicker. Use a tungsten carbide bit just to get the point on it sharp again. But 4-jaw chuck. Yeah, 4-jaw chuck. What can I say about a 4-jaw chuck? One of the most handiest things you could ever have. And also one of the biggest pains in the effing ass if you're not real good at it. You could spend hours and hours and hours just playing with your 4-jaw chuck, trying to get your shit centered. Oh my god, what a bloody nightmare! Now let's just say through the magic of video editing, it didn't take me 2.5 hours to center this friggin' thing, and let's just pretend it wasn't so friggin' hard, even after it was annealed, that it snapped like 4 pieces of my tungsten carbide bloody cutting bits for my lathe. Let's just pretend that never happened at all. It was absolutely fantastic, and I just put a nice point on this thing that took absolutely no time at all. And when I mean no time at all, I mean like maybe it took a little time. And when I say little time, maybe it took a shitload of time. Maybe it took half the day to do. Let's just pretend it didn't, though, okay? Well, I tell you one thing: if you ever decide to be a machinist, don't be in a hurry. Shit just takes so long to do when you're doing this crap on a lathe and a mill and stuff like that. Just even the setup time. The setup time is just ridiculous. Might take you bloody an hour or 2 hours just to set stuff up, and heaven forbid if you've got to go and sharpen your bits or something like that as well, or make a special bloody a special cut on the end of one of your bits to form, let's try that again, shall we? Making a special end on one of your carving tools to do a specific job with. Just absolutely bloody torturous. I have very little patience at the best of time when it comes to setting up bloody lathes and mills and stuff like that. Yeah, it's enough to drive a man to drink, I'll tell you that much for nothing. I'm not sure if I even told you what I decided I was going to do with this piece. I'm going to use this in my anvil for when I'm making knives and things like that, to mark the holes, mark where I want holes and stuff put. I'm going to chuck this back in the forge and get the bastard red hot. And I'm going to dunk it in some oil and cool it down rapidly. And that's going to get the bitch as hard. Not as if it's already bloody hard, but it's going to make it even harder. And I'll set half the workshop on fire while I'm at it as well. That sounds like a pretty good idea. And anyway, have a look. There you go. It's all done. Looks pretty cool, actually. That should do the job. Not bad for something I got for nothing. And it certainly gave me something to do for like half the day, rooting around. Wouldn't have taken so long if I had been bloody moving cameras and, trying to focus shit and get this in order and that in order, blah, 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 blah. So, there we go. Alright, boys and girls. Well, you be good. And we'll catch you next time, trendsetters. Don't forget to Vegemite. I'll see you later. My name's Jim, and you've been watching Gymjunnky.Productions. And why'd I call it Gymjunnky.Productions? Because I couldn't friggin' find another name that hadn't already been taken. Fat Aussie bastard had already been used. What can I say? Check you later, trendsetters. Play the music.
Techno.